Brahman is neither available for giving up, nor is Brahman available for acquiring, because Brahman is the very self, and self being already there, it cannot be acquired. Since it is self, it cannot be given up. And therefore, aheyopade vastu vishayatvat. And therefore, if Brahman is a vastu, then also it is aheyopadayam, and therefore cannot become the object of vidhi. Nor if aheyopadaya vishaya vastutvat, vastu vishayatvat is jnanam, then aheyopadaya vastu brahman. So that Brahman becomes the vishaya of which jnanam. That jnanam also is again cannot become the object of any niyoga or instruction. Okay. Udasena vastu vishayakatvacha jnanam na vidheyam. So jnanam also cannot become vidheyam pravrityadi phalabhad ityartha, because it doesn't bring about any pravritti. Then what about this? Now continuing the discussion on page 170. Vidipadanam gatim prachyati. All right, then what about these things? What do you do with these words and sentences? Kimarthani, Subhashya says, Kimarthani tarhi Atma va aradrashtavyah Shrotavyah Ityadini Vidhichayani vachanani. See, when you say, no, we don't, this doesn't mean this and this doesn't mean that, all right, then what does it mean? Some meaning has to be there. Atma vara drashtavyah. It's not va vare, but va are. Because actually it is Atma vai are drashtavyah. That vai becomes va. But often you find this kind of thing. So anyway, Atma vai are drashtavyah. So then what does it mean? Drashtavyah. What does it word drashtavyah? Meaning should be seen. How do we understand that? If it is not an instruction in terms of knowledge of the Atma, because you said knowledge also is not available in instruction, nor is Atma can become an object of instruction, then how do we understand these statements? Ityadini vidhichayani. Vidhichaya means it is not a vidhi, it is a semblance of a vidhi, as I say. Not quite the vidhi, not quite an instruction, but as though an instruction. Or some kind of a semblance of instruction is there, meaning these are not primarily instruction, vidhichayani, prasiddha yagadi, vidhitulyani, not quite. Like yaga, etc. is an object of vidhi. Similarly also, this also is a semblance of vidhi, alright. But still, so question is, kimarthani tarhi, then what is the meaning of all these statements? That is the question there. Then Bhashyakara says, a very beautiful answer is given here. Swabhavika pravritti vishaya vimukhi karnarthani iti brūmah yohi bahirmukhah pravartade purushah ishtam me bhuyad अनिष्टम मा भूदिति न च तत्र आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं लभते तम आत्यन्तिक पुरुषार्थवांछिनं स्वाभाविक कार्यकरण संघात प्रवृत्ति गोचरा विमुखीकृत्य प्रत्यगात्मस्रोतस्तया प्रवर्तयन्ते आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः इत्यादीनि. So what is the purpose of this? Swabhavika pravritti vishaya vimukhikaranaarthani iti brūmah. This is what we have to say. There is a swabhavika pravritti. There is what we call an impulsive or instinctive activity that a human being or every living being has. Paranchikhani vyatruna swayambhuhu. Since the Lord has created the sense organs extrovert, the mind also is extrovert, and therefore tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. Therefore a person naturally looks outward. For the fulfillment in the life, a person always looks outward. Therefore, being extrovert or being attracted to the sense object is something natural for the person. Because in the sense organs there is a natural craving for fulfillment, and these sense organs look somewhere for their craving, and they find the Vishaya of the sense objects as the right places for fulfillment of that craving. And therefore, naturally the Swabhavik Pravritti, if left to this person, the person will naturally run after the sense objects. And this is what we find people doing. Vimukhi Karnarthani Tasmat Parang Pashyati Nantaratman. Therefore a person always looks outwardly, he never looks at the self. Kaschid Dhiraha Pratyagatmanam Aikshat Avrat Chakshuhu Amrutatvam Kaschid Dhiraha, some rare person. Dhiraha, a really wise person. Pratyagatmanam Aikshat, that person saw the Pratyagatma, saw the self, meaning he wanted to see the self, or he was able to see the self. Avrutta Chakshu, when? Avrutta Chakshuhu, when his Chakshu, meaning the sense organs, were all turned inward. So it is necessary to turn the sense organs of the mind inward, because what you are looking for in life is inside and not outside. Amrutatvam Icchan, desiring immortality, is some wise person who actually turned his eyes or sense organs inward and turned the mind also inward, and therefore Pratyagatmanam Aikshada, he saw or knew Pratyagatma. So it is necessary that the eyes or sense organs be turned inwards. Inward means away from the sense objects and focus towards the self. So at the moment the Swabhavika Pravritti or the natural instinctive activity of a person brings about a focus of the mind that is directed towards the sense objects. And as long as the mind is directed towards anatma, the sense objects, naturally so long that mind is not available for the knowledge of the self. Because where the self is, there the non-self is not. So there is one is a Vishaya, other is Vishayi. And Paraspara Viruddha Svabhava is there. So where the Vishaya is there, Vishaya is not there. Where the object is there, the subject is not there. Where the subject is, the object is not there. So object and subject are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means one is, other is not, like the day and night. Therefore, when the mind is engaged in the sense objects or anatma, definitely it cannot be engaged in the atma. And therefore, in order to engage or focus the mind to the atma, towards the atma, it is necessary to disengage the mind from the sense objects. How do you disengage? By pointing out that there is something great, you have been missing something. Look at this. Have you ever seen this? So, whenever somebody is, perhaps I don't know, is looking for something or wants to buy something, or you go to a place and then sightseeing, etc. Have you seen this? Did you go to that cave? Did you go to Vyasa Gufa? Never heard of that? Immediately you want to go, hey, this must be something great. Veda Vyasa must be Vasishtha Gufa. So you have great reverence for this. And therefore you want to go to those caves of Vasishtha and Vyasa and these people were there. Immediately you give up everything else. Fellow is going to market, and stuff like that. Chotiwala, forget it, You want to go to the Vyasa Gufa, then he gives up that Chotiwala business and goes to Vyasa Gufa. So, you have to bring to attention of this person something that is much more fascinating, something that is much more inspiring or greater. Then alone that inspiration or fascination for the lower things will drop off. So what has so far remained out of his attention, or which has never come to his attention, namely his own self. That's what the Shruti points out. Atmavare drashtavya. Self is worth seeing, they say, Oh, really so? So far I've been seeing all that stuff around. Self, have you ever seen it? No, it is worth seeing. Atmavare drashtavya. So when it said, his attention, if he has reverence for the Shruti, of course, when will you pay attention to this? Bolta hai, usme kya hai, So, but when you have reverence and the Shraddha for the words of whoever says, or when you know that the person who says that is a well-wisher, he means well, then you will give a consideration to that. Otherwise you won't bother about it. ठीक है. Suppose Ram Bachan comes and says, Swami ji खुद सुधर देखना है, बोलता है, But when Swami Shuddhananda comes in, Swami, did you see that? Immediately, because there was something worth seeing there. Similarly when Shruti says, since people are brought up with the samskara of Shruti, Shruti says Atma Vara Drashtavya, then he says there must be something there. And therefore, this is what creates in him a value for that which has so far remained, out of his attention, sort of. Outside the focus of attention. And therefore, to focus his attention. So, Swabhavika Pravritti, otherwise open. This person has a freedom to turn his mind inward, otherwise he is not available. If a person were under the spell of the fascination of sense objects, regardless of what you tell him, nothing will happen. But he is looking for something. He is looking for something in his life. He is looking, as Bhashyakara so nicely says, Tam Atyandika Purushartha Vanchinam. Who is the person? Atyandika Purushartha Vanchinam. One who is seeking Atyandika Purushartha. Purushartha, the end that is sought by the person, the human end. Atyandika, which is Avyabhichari. Having acquired, nothing remains to be acquired. Or having acquired which, your desire is fulfilled. So Atyandika Purushartha is acquisition of that end which gives you fulfillment once and for all, where there is a guarantee. There is a guarantee that if you acquire that, then you will gain fulfillment. This is what everyone wants. Everyone wants in life that Atyandika Purushartha, everyone wants. Everyone wants to seek that ultimate human goal. And therefore everyone is in search of that ultimate human goal, acquiring which nothing remains to be acquired. Or therefore one wants to take up a sadhana or a means in the life with an assurance, if there is an assurance that when I do this, I will definitely get what I am seeking. What's the guarantee, Swamiji? That in Vedanta also, that I do this, that it is going to give me what I am looking for. What's the guarantee? Who has got it? Is there a guarantee? Naturally the question arises. And therefore, if you don't have guarantee, Atyandikatvam is not there, then your Shraddha, or your faith, the trust gets shaken up. Therefore, person is naturally looking for that definite and certain end. Atyandika Purushartha Vanchinam. So here is a person who is the Viveka. And so is looking around. Not a person who is running after the sense objects merely for satiation or gratification of senses. We are not talking about him. But we are talking about a person who is running after the sense objects or some pursuits in life, seeking something. So there is in that person a viveka, that I am seeking Atyandika Purushartha, and there is a human goal that I am seeking. So he is a seeker. Nacha tatra Atyandikam Purushartham labhate. And this person has not been getting that fulfillment in all those sense objects or various pursuits involving sense objects. Like a scientist, let us say, a seeker of truth. He is sincerely seeking those things. Or like anybody, scientist means anybody. He may be an economist or he may be anybody. Even a social scientist, a psychologist, or whoever it is. Thinking that here is the secret of life. Or here is when I know, then this is what will reveal to me something that I am looking for. Or a yogi or anybody who is doing something. Some people are seeking knowledge, some people are seeking an experience. They are all seekers. That when I do something, something will happen which will give me the ultimate fulfillment. So for a person, what is important is that ultimate fulfillment. And not a commitment to a given means. Again, what happens is, not only that we are seeking the end, but we also have an emotional commitment towards the means. That I am seeking moksha, all right, but as a result of kundalini or something like that, then it's difficult to attract that person or to change his attention, turn his attention. Or I am convinced that this looking into this matter, that a physicist or what, that is where the truth is. In which case there is also a commitment to that means of seeking, an emotional commitment. Then also it is difficult to change the attention of these people. But a person is just seeker open. He is only interested in moksha. has no commitment. By commitment we mean he is open in the sense that he is willing to learn, he is willing to consider. In that case, we can change that person. Shraddha can be created even if Shraddha is not there. Agnyasya ashraddadhanasya samshayatma vinashyati. An ignorant person of course dies. Vinashyati means his life is ruined or life, is worthless, useless, fruitless because he just wastes his time in all these sense pursuits, etc., not knowing what is really there in life. But this fellow is okay. This Agnya, simply ignorant person, can be very easily convinced by reasoning. You can convince that person. Sukhena sadhya. This person, if he is logical and open mind, then you can convince him that look, what you are looking for in life is what? Is not a limited thing. You are seeking something that is limitless. Isn't that so? What you are seeking is limitless. It should be permanent. So you are seeking something permanent. You are seeking something that is limitless. Then you can never be satisfied by anything less than permanent. Where that limitless can be? Can that limitless be away from you? Can that limitless be a thing? Can that limitless be confined to an experience or to a time or to a place or to an object? Can it be? It cannot be. Then it cannot be limitless. So limitless cannot happen also. If it is an experience that has happened in time and if it goes away in time, it cannot be limitless. So therefore limitless cannot be happening. Therefore jnanam is not happening in that sense that takes place once and goes away. Can it be away from you? If away from you, if you are separated from limitless in terms of time and place, then that's, in which case you have to achieve it or acquire it. And what is reached, what is acquired, what is achieved has to be limited. So this person can be made to see that what is a human being seeking in life? He is seeking fulfillment, adequacy, happiness, limit what? Permanent happiness, lasting happiness. Nobody is interested in momentary happiness. Although you may settle for it because you don't know what else to do. And so you know, okay, chalta hai, ye bhi chalega, milega to theek hai. When you have nothing, then even those little crumbs of happiness will work, okay. With the hope that someday you will come across something. But what does a person seek? Primarily, seeking happiness that is lasting. Where can it be? Is there such an object which can be called happiness? Or is happiness the quality of an object? And can that be away from you? Then the person can be made to see that it is Atma or the self alone can be that. And why? How come I am seeking? Because there is a natural love for the self. Understand that you love the limitless, or what you love all the time is that happiness which is lasting. That's it. And therefore, seeking that lasting happiness, the person is doing all kinds of things. And then it is pointed out that lasting happiness, there is a natural love for the lasting happiness, and there is a natural love for the self also. Therefore also there is reason to believe that self is what you are looking for. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Whatever is dear to you, whatever you love in this life is because you love yourself. And why is it so? Atma is parama premaspadam. It is the locus of the unconditional love. Why is it so? Because it must be unconditional in nature. And therefore, this points out that Atma is, in fact, it is for the love of the Atma that everyone loves. So it is Atma which everyone loves. Atma itself must be that Ananda. Therefore, Atma vara drashtavya. As a result of that, discourse, then Yajnavalkya says, Atma vara drashtavya. Hey Maitreyi, this Atma must be known. Is right? It's not the right way it is being said. Because it says, Navare patihu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati, Atmanastu kamaya patihi priyo. So far Maitreyi is looking at the pati, at husband, thinking that is what I am looking for, that happiness. Says, you love husband all right, not for the sake of husband, for the sake of the self. Navare jaya kamaya jaya priya bhavati, Atmastu kamaya jaya priya bhavati. It is not for the sake of the wife that the wife is dear, it is for the sake of the self that the wife is dear. And similarly for putra and vitta and for everything in life. Navare sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati, Atmastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. So anything and everything that is dear is not for its own sake, it is for the sake of the self that it is dear. And therefore, if you know Atma, then you know everything. You as well heard everything, known everything, thought everything. Therefore, knowledge of Atma accomplishes everything. Therefore, Atma va drashtavya. Therefore, Atma must be known. Swabhavika. So person wants, and therefore looking in husband and wife and son and wealth and this and that and variety of ends in life. What for are you looking? You love those things. What for? Because looking for something that is lasting, and that love is for the sake of them? No, it is for the sake of the self. And this is how from the putra, pati or vitta, all the attention is brought or directed towards the self. Avritta chakshuhu. This attention is directed not out of frustration, or not out of disgust, or not out of anything. Out of what? Viveka. Then it is your own. If somebody else, if there is a niyoga, that look inside, then that instruction, the force of instruction is there, so long alone you look. Then it has happened as a result of your own conviction, or your own understanding. Sometimes person may not tell you, the world tells you. You get such frustrating experiences that you turn away from the world. That also is an instruction, that the world is turning you away. That doesn't work. So disgust, smashana, vairagya, etc. are all fine. They may also work. If you're lucky, even that may work. Not that it may not. It may turn out as samvadi brahma, that actually you turned away thinking there is a ghost there or something like that, and then it turned out that where you went, it was really the thing that you're looking for. It's possible that even smashana vairagya also may turn attention to oneself, and then then one may really get what one is looking for. But ideally, this turning away should be as a result of viveka. That vairagya is called turning away. Should arise as a result of viveka. And all the discourse is given by Yajnavalkya to Maitreyi before the statement is made, Atma vaya drashtavya. Or tam tvam brahmatvam vidhi, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, nedam yadidam upasate, na tatra chakshur gacchate, na vag gacchate, na manaha. Says the teacher first, tatra chakshuh na gacchate, the eyes do not reach there, meaning the Brahman is not within the scope of the eyes or perception. Na vag gacchate, the words also do not have a scope there. Na manaha, the mind also does not have a scope there. And thus, all the doors are closed. So, swabhavika pravritti, even of a seeker of knowledge, is what? Is looking with his sense organs. He's trying to describe it in his words, or he's trying to visualize with his mind, and that is swabhavika pravritti. It's not that towards Vishaya alone is swabhavika pravritti. A Vishayi has them. But a seeker of knowledge also will naturally look with his sense organs, with his mind. There is also swabhavika pravritti. Vishaya vimukhi karanarthani, and then to turn him away. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, na manaha gacchati, na vidmaha, na vijanimaha, yathaitat anushishyat. How else to instruct you we do not know? Anyadeva tad viditat, atho aviditat adhi. So viditam and aviditam, both of them represent swabhavika pravritti. Is different from that. So tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, not this one. Yadim, nedam, yadim upasade. Not the one that you are worshipping as idam. That is not a dismissal of idam, worship. It is dismissal of idantvam. See, you have to understand what is dismissed there. People think that Upanishad dismisses or condemns upasana. No. Idantvam. That even that what you are seeking also should not remain idam, apart other than you. That otherness is being dismissed there, and not worship. So otherness all the time, therefore, when swabhavika pravritti vishaya, otherness is naturally there in the mind, because mind naturally projects duality. And mind wants to see something, experience something, because we think that that is called a knowledge only when I see something. I verify by my own eyes. So everybody is scared. I don't want to taste sugar. I don't want to become sugar. I want to continue to taste sugar. If I become sugar, then what will happen? Then I can't enjoy sugar. But then, so it is like telling the sugar, may you become sweet, No, can sugar do that? Can that be an instruction? So may you become sweet. Is there an instruction? It is only pointing to the sugar that the sweetness that you are looking for is not elsewhere, it is your own nature. So even though this expression, this statement looks like an instruction to the sugar that may you become sweet, there is a viditchaya, a semblance of instruction is there. But the purpose of the instruction is not to make for the sugar to become something or become sweet. Purpose of statement is to enable the sugar to turn the attention away from elsewhere and to look at its own self, whether the sweetness that I am seeking, is it elsewhere or is it my own nature? That's what Upanishad does. And this is how pointing out Swabhavika pravritti vishaya vimukhi karanarthani iti brahma. Says here, Purnanandiya, second paragraph, Swabhaviki meaning Swabhava Siddha. And it is not that this fellow is merely Vishayi or Pamara, meaning is not that this person is seeking only sense gratification, but in the mind the natural Swabhava is to look elsewhere. There is a conclusion that 10th man is lost. There is a conclusion, I am not Brahman, I know what I am. And therefore, certainly I am not what I am looking for in life. There is all naturally a self-rejection. One has already rejected oneself. Otherwise, how can it bring about an activity of looking outside? So since that self-rejection is already there, since birth, moment I take the body to be myself, that self can never be acceptable because body can never, even though the whole world may think my body is the most beautiful in the world, I know what it is. And therefore, moment I identify myself with the body, even the Miss Universe also will not be satisfied with herself because she knows all the limitations the body has. And that's all it has. Moment I identify myself with the mind or sense organs, I know that I am a limited being and therefore I cannot accept a limited self. So there is right away from the birth, naturally or instinctively, a self-rejection. Because, and behind the self-rejection, there is a conclusion that I am not acceptable. For being acceptable, a person should be this, which I am not. And therefore, a self-rejection. That's a person. Since self-rejection is built in that, therefore a person is naturally looking outward for acceptance or for whatever. This is called Swabhaviki pravritti. Right here the pravritti begins. Then a person may go to sense objects thinking that okay, I will get what I want. Or different pursuits are there. Where sensuous pursuits are there, emotional pursuits are there, intellectual pursuits are there, even spiritual pursuits are there. All the pursuits are what? For doing something. Even yogi is trying to do something. Bhogi is doing outside, yogi is doing inside, fine, okay. Yogi is much greater than bhogi, but then they are not doing something because there is already a conclusion that I am not alright as I am. Something must be done with me. So either people do something with them, that's what we call yogis. Or people do something outside, that's what we call bhogis. But that out doing something, changing something because the way things are is not okay. This is Swabhaviki pravritti of doing something, changing something, becoming something because of conclusion that I am not, at the moment, I am not what I want to be. What I want is different from what I am. And therefore, Swabhava Siddhaya pravritti. This is the, so pravritti or extrovertedness is Swabhava Siddha, is instinctive. Tad vishebhya Sarachandana yad vimukhi Sarachandana, etc. These are the objects of the sense. That's just a representative. It's not that everybody in the world is merely a sensuous person. It's not. This would include everyone. Any seeker is included here. As I said, whether a person is seeking in any pursuit of life, it may be a pursuit of art, a pursuit of science, pursuit of literature, pursuit of anything, service, pursuit of yoga. All of these are pursuits, all of them are seekers, and therefore, Sat, Chandana, etc. These are the, Sat means a mala, and Chandana means sandalwood, etc. So these are the objects of the senses. Or they may be objects of emotion, or they may be object of intellect. Tebhya yad vimukhi karanam. Turning the attention of a person from them towards the self is necessary, otherwise he will never discover himself. Because there is a conclusion that what I am seeking is something other than me, as long as that conclusion persists, so long the person will never look at the self. So to change that conclusion, to break that conclusion, that what I am looking for is elsewhere, so no Atma avara drishtabhya. What is worth seeing is Atma, not all these things. If they are worth seeing, there is much more worth. And that is how the attention is pointed towards self. Yad vimukikaranam tadarthaniti vigraha. So स्वभाव सिद्धा प्रवृत्ति स्वाभाविक प्रवृत्ति विषय विमुखीकरणार्थानि और अथवा स्वाभाविकेभ्यः प्रवृत्ति विषयेभ्यः यद विमुखीकरणम और the sense objects are swabhavika. The word swabhavika can be connected with pravritti or the word swabhavika can be connected with vishaya. That's how in both ways the samasa vigraha is given. Swabhavikebhyah pravritti vishayebhyah. The sense objects are also swabhavika because swabhavajanya. They are all born of prakriti. Tebhyah yad vimukhikaranam. And the turning away the attention from those objects of the senses which are born of swabhava or prakriti. Vishayam swabhavikatvam, which should be loka pramana siddhatvam. What is swabhavikatvam? Loka pramana siddhatvam. That people perceive them. They are available for your perception. They are available for your experience. In that sense, they are also called swabhavika. So either the fascination, the attraction that a person has for the sense object, not only in terms of sense gratification. An astrologer looks at moon and that moon attracts him, What is there? And he starts all his activities, he develops his telescopes and all kinds. He looks at the star, that's all. The star attracts him. Because there is something in him. There is some curiosity to know what is out there in the world. The moment he spots something, immediately his mind is attracted and he'll do whatever is necessary. He'll set up his telescope. I think what is last Amavasya went was there was a big eclipse which we didn't see in India, was seen in few parts of the world like Mexico. And it was seen for complete eclipse, I think was seen for 6 or 7 minutes. That's it. That attracted, I don't know how many scientists and astrologers from all over the world for what? For 6 minutes of eclipse. That's it. Moment an astrologer hears that there is going to be an eclipse, a full eclipse, that's it. He can't remain there. That becomes a Vishaya that will draw him there. So the Vishayas draw them or my mind draws itself outwardly. Both ways you can say. Either you can say that the mind goes to the sense objects or the sense objects attract the mind. It's very difficult. Perhaps it's both ways. See, the mind is not happy with itself, wants to go out wandering, Or the sense objects have some pull within themselves that they attract the mind. Either way. So this is called swabhavika pravritti. So swabhavikebhyah pravritti vishayebhyah or swabhava siddha ya pravritti. Says Ratna Prabha, vidit pratyayi atmajnanam purushartha sadhanam iti stuyate. So when vidhi comes, then you always take seriously. That is one thing. That whenever vidhi means an instruction comes, a person always takes it seriously because everybody wants to do something anyway. What it creates the greatest impact upon me is instruction. वो तो ठीक है. So, when you are told to do something, that has an immediate effect upon the mind. When you are told to remember, think, it's okay. Understand? Alright. That does not have as much impact upon the mind generally, not necessarily generally, as the instruction has. Please tell me what to do now. That's okay. He said, alright, this is okay. What am I supposed to do? You yourself decide. That you don't, What am I supposed to do? You understand it yourself and see what it means. So when a person, it is very difficult really to commit a person, rather to develop in person a commitment just to know. Because it is easy to engage a person in an activity. Because that activity, that restlessness is there within. Or that ignorance is also there. And also that directionlessness is there. I don't know what to do. When somebody says do this, okay, it's easy for me to follow instruction because it is somebody else's responsibility, whatever it is. When I do something by my own decision, then perhaps I must be doubly sure. Says, he said you go this way, so I went that way. Baba, this is north and where do you want to go in south, didn't you think? But that fellow said, go there, so I will go. And therefore Shruti uses this statement, drashtavya. Then he wakes up, wait a minute, he's listening to the drashtavya. Katha, when they are listening to Dongre Maharaj, then it may be going, they may be in their own world. But then Dongre Maharaj says, immediate instruction has come. सवारे 4 बजे उठू, ब्राह्म मुहूर्त में उठू, जोइए means they will listen to it properly. Because the instruction is something that immediately catches the wait, if something is to be done, what is it? When something is to be done, there must be some phala. Because otherwise nobody will ask you to do something, so prayojanam must be there. And therefore, let me see, is there something to gain? So, since mind is gain oriented, therefore, instruction has an immediate impact upon that. If the mind is knowledge oriented, instruction will have no effect there. But as long as the mind is gain oriented, so long it is seeking, is waiting, it wants instruction. Then drashtavya, when it is said, tavya pratyaya, something is to be done, he becomes immediately attentive. And actually, whenever it is said drashtavya, it must be seen. Then what is it that must be seen? It must be something that is worth seeing. When somebody says, hey, you should see this, that means what? That according to that person, that place or object is worth seeing. When he says you should see it. Therefore that person, according to that person, that object enjoys a certain beauty or certain reverence. That is the reason why he thinks that object is worth seeing. And that is why the person says, you should see that. Swami, you should see this. You should read this. You should know this. Because that person has discovered some knowability, seeability in that. And then when a great person says, when Gandhiji says something, then you will always, aptavakya is there. If you have reverence for that person. Or Swami Vivekananda says, or whatever. Shruti says, drashtavya, then he takes it very seriously. Well, that means Atma must be seen. Atma is worth seeing. In that sense, drashtum yogya, Atma is worth seeing. Iti Atmajnanam Parama Purushartha Sadhanam iti stuyate. That this Atmajnanam, drashtavya, that vidhi is always given when it is Purushartha Sadhanam. And drashtavya, that means what? Ajnanam or Atmajnanam must become, is presented by the Shruti as Parama Purushartha Sadhanam. That Atmajnanam is the means for attainment of the fulfillment, ultimate fulfillment of life. And that is how Atmajnanam or knowledge of the self is placed in a category by Shruti as that which is the means for Parama Purushartha, and that is how Stuti in fact extols or praises this knowledge of the self. Stutya Atyandika Ishtahedutva Bhrandya Ya Visheshu Pravritti Atma Shravanadi Pratibandika Tan Nivritti Phalani Vinipadani iti. So when this fellow is running after sense objects thinking that they are great, when somebody says, hey, something is greater, then he gives that up. So what happens is, something great may be here, but as long as you think that what you are looking for is there, so long your attention is there. And he doesn't even look here. And therefore we point out his attention, hey, look behind. He said, behind there is something which is worth seeing. Then he stops it and looks there. So how do we turn his attention? By presenting something which is more fascinating or presenting something which is much more valuable. Therefore Shruti presents Atmajnanam is that which is most valuable, and that is how the person who is looking for something valuable, his attention is attracted. He is looking at the sense objects or objects of intellect thinking that they are valuable. And Shruti says Atma is valuable or Atma Jnana is valuable. Then, since the person is looking for something valuable, immediately his attention is directed towards Atma. Because as long as attention is directed towards Anatma, so long that very extrovertedness is an obstacle to the knowledge of self. Why so much discussion again about karma, upasana, whatever? Or why vairagya? Why? What does the Vedantin say against the sense pleasures? Why is so much against it? It looks like. They are not against it, but it looks like it. Every day keep on saying that there is no happiness in sense objects, there is no this and that. Why keep on saying this? Because my conclusion that the happiness is in the object, that which keeps my mind directed towards the object, that extrovertedness or the directionness there itself is an obstacle to the knowledge of the self. Therefore, that atyandika ishta hetutva bhrantya, so far a person has a bhranti or a delusion that these objects which are anatma, they are atyandika ishta hetu. They are the means for attainment of the ultimate goal in life. That's what he thinks. And then he is looking there. And that very looking itself is an obstacle to looking towards the self. Ya visheshu pravritti, and therefore that activity or his approach towards the sense objects, atma shravanamit pratibandhika. And therefore that very pravritti in the sense objects, or very pravritti or pursuit of anything external, anything other than itself, other than the self, atma shravanamit pratibandhika, that becomes a pratibandhaka, becomes an obstacle towards atma vichara. Because when my mind thinks that moon or that star or Mars is the most desirable thing in the world, then mind will naturally think of Mars or moon or a rocket or something like that. Because that person looks upon that or knowledge of that or what is to be accomplished by that as the most fulfilling thing. And so long the person will naturally think of that. And the thinking of a rocket is an obstacle towards thinking of the self. Thinking of a star or thinking of anything other than Atma or commitment to that thinking becomes an obstacle towards the obstacle to the thinking of the self. Atma Shravanadi Pratibandhika. So that very extrovertedness is a Pratibandhaka, is an obstacle towards the Atma Vichara which requires Shravanam Mananam. Tan Nivritti Phalani. That Pratibandha Nivritti Phalani. Atma Shravanadi Pratibandha Nivritti Phalani. All that the Vidhi does is, the Phalam is what? The Pratibandha Nivritti. That which is a Pratibandha or an obstacle to the pursuit of knowledge of self. Removal of that obstacle is what is accomplished by this Vidhi Atma Vada Drishtabhya. So not in Pati, not in Jaya, not in Putra, not in Vitta, not in all those things. Atma Vada Drishtabhya, and therefore thinking of all those objects was an obstacle to thinking of the self, and that obstacle is removed by this instruction Vidhi Atma Vada Drishtabhya. That's all. It is not to engage this person actually into the pursuit of knowledge or engage in terms of making knowledge something that is to be accomplished, but to disengage the person from his present engagement and to direct his attention towards the self. That's why Bhashyakara says, Swabhavika Prarutti Vishaya Vimukhi Karanathaniti Brahma. Virunodi, that very same statement is further explained by Bhashyakara. Yohi Bahirmukha Pravartade Purushaha. This Purushaha Bahirmukha Purushaha Pravartade. This person is Bahirmukha, meaning he is extrovert. With what conclusion? Ishtam me bhuyat, anishtam me ma bhut. Whenever a person is engaged in any external activity, ishtam me bhuyat. Something desirable something desirable may happen to me. Anishtam ma bhut, or I may not be stuck with something undesirable. So this is precisely what we discuss in Naishkarma Siddhi. So hitatva buddhi or ahitat. Hitam me syat, ahitam me ma bhut. So it is said. Ishtam me syat, anishtam ma bhut. Everyone wants sukha and everyone wants to avoid dukkha. And when the external objects give the promise, either giving sukha or removal of dukkha, naturally person looks there. This is the Bahirmukha Purusha. Nacha tatra atyandikam purushartham labhate. Unfortunately or fortunately, he doesn't gain that atyandika purushartha in spite of all the pursuits. When the person is convinced that what I am looking for is not here, if he is not convinced, then you can't convince him. So you may perhaps, but then if he is himself convinced that what I am looking for is not there, it's easy. That's why fellows who are still so young, who have not done anything in life, There is no conviction one way or the other. So they have not even experienced life or the objects of life. And because Swami says the sense objects are like this, and therefore he doesn't, Swami, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that. Because the Swami says, then that doesn't work. It is a person who must have himself or herself discovered that what the person is seeking is not there. It must be their own conviction. And then alone, that is called Viveka. So that's why he says, no, study in the college. Work for them, get something, experience it, achieve something, and then see what it is. When you tasted it, okay, then come back. Go to the United States, do something. So, in one way it is good that youngsters are there. On the other hand, there is always a question whether the fellows are doing it because of some problem or because there is a genuine desire to know. Some problem will be there because there is, Swamiji, who has become happy by marriage? Tell me. He doesn't want to get married. Who is happy? They have seen their own parents or people around, brothers and that aversion is just temporary. At some point in time, those feelings which are suppressed or not expressed, they may want, that's why parents never trust their children. Says, no, you get married now, after 20 years if you say you want to get married, who's going to have, and things like that. Therefore, push them right away. But anyway, so children also don't think why they are feeling what they are feeling. We should be clear about our feelings anyway. Why do I not want to get married? Or why do I want to get married? Or why do I want to do or not want? That should be a clarity. There is nothing wrong if the person doesn't want to get married. There is nothing wrong if the person wants to get married. There is nothing wrong in anything. As long as there is an understanding of the purpose, why it is being done. But because there is an aversion, because something is happening, once there is not an understanding of one's own feelings very often, and that's why a lot of things are done later on. Those feelings get understood in different situations. That when I am exposed to a situation when the kind of fear that I had, the fear is not there. Suppose a person creates in me a situation where I can feel free at home, then immediately all that stream of that all the things that are there, they all get released, Or a sense object may do that. Or a car may do, something may do that. Since I fell down 10 times from a bicycle, therefore I don't want a bicycle, I don't want a scooter, nothing at all. So that kind of a vairagya towards those things is for some other reason. So it's possible that when a Mercedes I sit there and it creates me a homely feeling, then this is what I want. So what happens is that thing which was there but which did not have an opportunity to really manifest itself may get manifest in a homely or a conducive situation. And anyway, if you are in a position to handle it, it may happen. And you may be able to handle it. Okay. You may be able to overcome it, handle it, or deal with it, or what it is. That's fine. But all we are saying is that vairagya should not be taken for granted. It is something which is a result of viveka or understanding. It's not a feeling that something is happening to me or not happening. Well, it may be a feeling, but it should be understood. That should be a clarity. So, this clarity is brought, otherwise the lack of clarity is a pratibandhaka. And therefore, tannivritti phalani vidhi. So anyway, nacha tatra atyantikam purushartham labhate, when a person is not able to find that atyantika purushartha, then tam atyantika purushartha vanchanam, the person who has a vancha or a desire for atyantika purushartha, meaning that purushartha is atyantika. There is no, so atyantika means once and for all. There is anta, once and for all. So, antamatitya vartate. There is no end to it. Meaning, you attain it and once and for all. You don't want anything more. You don't want to be bothered any further. So, atyantika purushartha vanchanam svabhavika karyakarana sanghata pravritti gochara vimukhi kritya. Swabhavika karyakarana sanghata. The karya means body, karana means sense organs, this sanghata or assembly of the body and the sense organs, pravritti gocharat. So, whatever pravritti they have, gocharat means vishayat or pravritti, the object of pravritti. So, that is what is being explained here. Says Purnanandaya, yo hi bahirmukha tam utkrishta sukharthanam adhikaranam ityartha. Yo hi bahirmukha. This is an extrovert person, all right. Tam utkrishta sukharthanam. He is what? Atyandika purusharthavanchanam, meaning utkrishta sukharthanam. The person who is earthly or desires utkrishta sukha. Utkrishta means most exalted happiness, meaning the lasting happiness that the person is seeking. He is an adhikari. So adhikari is the one in whom there is a viveka. That what I am seeking is utkrishta sukham. It is that viveka is there. That I am seeking lasting happiness or limitless happiness is what I am seeking, and that nothing less than that can satisfy me. That kind of a understanding is there. Bahirmukhasya sukhe utkrishtavaanchaya adhikaritvam sampadya. So bahirmukhasya sukhe utkrishtavaanchaya bahirmukhasya. So person who is extrovert, because he is seeking utkrishta sukham, that exalted happiness in sense objects. And when he sees that what he is seeking cannot be obtained by sense objects, that's okay. Then also person may be wandering. But when it is heard, Atma vara drashtavya, then he realizes that what I am seeking must be the self and not else. Iti adhikaritvam sampadya. That person is made an adhikari. So extrovert person is made an adhikari. That will happen anyway. Of course, that's an advantage that we have of the Shravanam itself. That a lot of things that are not understood they get understood. Most people don't understand what is happening to them anyway. That's the reason why the discussions bring about so many various standpoints. And that's the reason why a given thing is analyzed from different standpoints. So that will touch some core somewhere inside. That's right. That's how a person understands one's own feelings also, and is able to recognize, understand them, and then the viveka or vairagya that is becomes a mature vairagya. In the beginning, vairagya, some kind of vairagya is there. But then the scriptures enable us to understand, all the discussions enable us to understand, and that's how our vairagya, or whatever it is, our convictions also become our own convictions. So adhikaritvam sampadya. So in this person, who is so far extrovert, he is being made an adhikari by what? By the vidhivakya. Vidhivakya means vakya of the Shruti, which are looked with great shraddha and reverence. Therefore they have a lot of impact upon the person. Therefore the person is made to think, and then the person realizes that what I am seeking is not to be found there, then what I am seeking, according to Shruti, is in Atma, and that is how, since he was looking for Utkrishta Sukha, and he realizes that Utkrishta Sukha is in Atma, so he gives it up. That's why that Viveka is there. What I am seeking is Utkrishta Sukham. That clarity is there, and then it is not there, it is in Atma, and then naturally his attention is directed. It is as simple as that. When you are driving on the road, all you want to go reaches a destination. So thinking that the destination is in a given direction, therefore you are driving in that direction. And then you are confused, or you have a feeling that you are not reaching where you want to go, and you stop and ask someone. Someone says, oh, you are in the wrong direction, you should be going this direction. Fine, you turn and go. Because you know commitment to direction, you know commitment to road, you know commitment to anything, you have commitment to the destination. And when you learn that the destination is there, very easily you turn away. No, this is a beautiful road, how can I give it up? Oh, it looks so nice, how can I? Then there is a commitment to not only destination, but other things also. And that is how adhikaritva is lacking often. That our commitment is not merely to the goal. There is a commitment to many things. So, no, but this road is concrete road, it's so nice to drive. And therefore, the car runs like, it flows like water. And therefore, how can you go away from here? Look at that road, so rough. Is road important to you? The ride is important to you? The scenery is important to you? In that case, you won't go on that road. But if only destination is important to you, then alone you can give up scenery, you can give up comfort of the ride, you can give everything because you are interested merely in the destination. Suppose you are driving, you want to go to a temple, want to have darshan. If that is important, Doesn't matter which road it is. I am interested in temple. Then right away you can turn away. But you are not, in the course of going to the temple, you have developed a certain liking for that road, liking for all kinds of things, liking for the ride, then it's difficult to give that up. So, let us go for a while, let us see whether it comes or not. Maybe this person is not right, maybe, And so, that is why Atyandika Purushartha Vanchanam. The person's commitment is to the destination goal and not to something in between. But somebody said that this is the right road, then how can it be wrong? But this road looks so nice, how can it not be the road? Then all these problems come. When these are all emotional problems, and they are there. Everybody has them. And when we grow out of them, because we look upon somebody also as with great reverence. And when that person has said something, it has such an impact. Even our grandfather has an impact. He said something when I was a child of 5, that remains for the whole of my life. And it doesn't go. After listening to the classes for years together, then perhaps maybe that the Swami may be able to create an impact which is able to nullify the effect of what the grandfather said at the age of 5. Or what some revered person said, So we have a commitment because somebody said it. We have commitment because the sentence was so beautiful. We have commitment because the book was so nicely bound and so forth and so on. And then these are all emotional commitments. If you have commitment towards the object, the goal, then alone the mind is open. All that we require is an open mind, that's all. In which case it will be able to understand the merits of the various things and then do what is to be done. So adhikaritvam sampadya. Shruti says one thing, but it means all of this. It is not that the instruction is given, just one sentence was said. A big discourse was given there. So 6 sentences in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad may be 6 years of listening to Vedanta. It's quite far. It may be like that. But anyway, adhikaritvam sampadya tam shravanado vakyani pravartayanti. These vakyas shravanado pravartayanti. Nedam yadidam upasate. Not what you are worshipping as idam. Then what? Tvam vidhi, that Brahman is to be known, is gneyam Brahma, natu dhyayam Brahma. Then shravanado pravartayanti. From dhyayam, he now understands gneyam. So for dhyana, pravritti is of one kind, jnana, pravritti is of another kind. That's how shravanado pravartayanti. Then the person is made to engage in shravanadi, because it is to be known. Buddhi, Brahman is object of knowledge, not object of upasana. That's all the Shruti says. Doesn't condemn upasana. It says Brahman is knowledge of object, not knowledge of upasana. Because it is your very self. And self is something to be seen or known or discovered or understood rather than visualized or experienced. Shravanado vakyani pravartayanti gnanapanartham atyantika ityadi visheshanam. This atyandika purushartha vanchanam, etc. This purushartha vanchanam is not enough. Atyandika purushartha vanchanam. So, that is that intense desire to achieve that in life which can bring me the ultimate fulfillment, that kind of a thing is there. Then, as I said, then that atyandikatvam shows commitment to purushartha and not to something else. His commitment is to purushartha, to the goal or to the end. Otherwise there may be other commitment also. No, this looks nice and this is, this. And so, not only what it gives, but what it appears also, in which case our commitment is to the bottle and not necessarily what is contained in the bottle. Sometimes not only children want to drink, they want to drink milk, okay, but only in that glass. I want this in this bottle, So not only that this plate I want to eat. So not only there is a commitment to eating, but there is a commitment to plate. And that person, it is difficult to make that person eat in some other plate. Because there is an emotional commitment to the plate. This is my roti, so small. So commitment is to that size and things like that, which looks like my roti, rather than to eating. That's why in those children you have to give them all the secondary stuff to children. But when they grow up, then they want to eat food now. Doesn't matter what plate it is and what is the shape of the roti, Whether it is any shape or not also, when they go to mess, all kinds of things they eat because hunger. Then there is Atyantika Purushartha now he has become. So far he had some Purushartha all right. As a child he has distractions in many ways because his commitment to food was not that total, because his hunger also was not intense. As he grows up, the hunger, pang of hunger is really felt. Then what counts is food and not in what shape it comes, in what container it comes, or how it comes, or who even gives. What is important is food, that's it. That is why the Atyantika, that Atyantika Purushartha, that hunger has become so intense that all that matters is that must be solved. I must anyhow appease my hunger. Hunger is not intense, then it is important. Who gives me? How is it given? Khotu lagyu, saru lagyu, falanu lagyu, Children feel so bad because you gave him this and gave that fellow. What does it matter? The wrapper is different. No, but that's important. Why is this person given yellow? Why this person given red? See how children, fuss with all this kind of thing. Because other paraphernalia are important. Because that other thing is not gained as much importance as possible. So with children, when they grow up, and even if they later on demand a plate, mother will dismiss him, forget it. Khao to kha, na khao na gai. Thali khawa nahi hai. But a child is okay, but then once they grow up, they will not entertain this. You can see how these things work, So how long mother will entertain you? As long as you think that their commitment is not yet become, they want to create in you a commitment for food. So they'll entertain. ठीक है, चला, हाँ बेटा आ खा एम खा. Okay, हम जो आप बहिनी रोटी because this stupid fellow wants all that, He's more interested in that than rotli. So long, all of that is provided. They try to provide. A day has to come. कि रोज पहले खवड़ाओ मोहम्मद नाखून हुआ है. Every day you can't do that. For the whole of life, as Bala Swami will say, this fellow has grown up. The age 25, mustache, and jeans and stuff like that. Sitting there with his legs, stretched out on the table or desk. And then all of a sudden, some funny thing happens. An older woman comes, that is his mother. She comes out with a bottle and then gives bottle to this fellow. Still, he needs bottle. So we never grow up sometimes, and therefore, so then these things don't work. The idea is that now he will take half an hour to describe this much, anyway. So the point is this much, but he will take half an hour to create what is coming, And then you forget what he wants to say. By the way, when you hear the story, then the point is often missed. You don't know what was the purpose of the story also. But anyway, the point is, when our attention now it is withdrawn, is off from all those paraphernalia. And what counts? That's why Bhashyakara says, Atyantika Purushartha Vanchanam. Whether the wrapper or the container, etc. are not important. The stuff is important, And then, so this is how iti jnapanatham atyantika ityada visheshanam. Etena, that's it. According to them, Bhashyakara has described the whole adhikaritva. Etena sadhana chatushta sampannasya shravanadau pravrutti yukta shrutinam. Etena, by this, sadhana chatushta sampannasya shravanadau pravrutti yukta. So one way to end off is sadhana chatushta sampatti shravanadau pravrutti yukta. So question is that Bahirmukha fellow who is given this instruction? Who is the adhikari for Shravanam? That Bahirmukha? He says no. By this vidhi, apparently, Drashtavya converts this fellow from a fellow who is just looking here and there into an adhikari. The student, make him into adhikari. Otherwise that Upadesha will not work. Arjuna also was changed, converted to adhikari. Why did Lord Krishna kept on listening? He could have shut him up right away. Kept on listening until the fellow poured and exhausted himself out. He had nothing to say and he had nothing to justify. then is Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam. Then is okay. Then the Upadesha starts. Adhikarinam Sampadya. What is Adhikaritvam Sampadya? When Arjuna came to the battlefield, Dhanarudyam Pandavaha, then he lifted his bow. And then, so I want to see these fellows, who are the people with whom I have to fight? Kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudhyame yot simanana veksheham yahetetra samagadaha. He's a fighter still. You can't tell him Brahma Vidya or anything like that. So he's no more a fighter. He's a seeker. A fighter is turned into a seeker or a jignasu. Then the Upadesha works. Then he listens. You think Arjuna is going to listen to this kind of stuff? Then in the battlefield, no way. There's no one in the battlefield now. Even according to us, to the onlookers, they are sitting in battle. They are not in battlefield. The battle has no impact upon them at all. Otherwise, who can listen? You look at this thing, you're around, they're not looking anywhere. In Arjuna's mind, there is no battlefield at all. And therefore, what is it? Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha Janardana bhuyah kasaya. Oh Janardana, please tell again in great detail, this vibhuti. That shows that he has forgotten this time business, But you think you have nothing else to do, the fellows are waiting for you. Do you realize that? They are waiting for you to make a decision. You say, Vistarena, kasaya, tell me in detail, as though you have nothing else to do here. You have things to do. But Lord Krishna also is relaxed. That's the great thing. That shows that his intention is not war, etc. Also equally relaxed. And so describes Vibhuti in fair amount of detail and says, I am sorry that there is no end to this description. Because there is no end to my glories. And then also, suppose you know all the glories, so what? This is only one part of it. And therefore, Vishtabhyam Hadam Krisam Ekam Shena Sthido. Why other dimension is there? This is not the only dimension, etc. But then, here both of them are totally free from that complex of battle, etc. So Adhikarinam Sampadya. Arjuna is made an Adhikari. And then the knowledge, or whoever it is, all of them are made Adhikaris in their own way. And therefore, Shravanado Pravritti Yukta, Shrutinam Tasmin Pravritti Pravartaitritvam Cha Yuktam. That one who is an Adhikari, for that Adhikari, Shravanado Pravritti is proper, and the Shruti teaches him, that also is proper, or the Shruti turns him, but transforms into Adhikari, that also is proper. Katham Bahirmukasya, then people say, this statement makes you feel that this Bahirmuka, the person who is an extrovert, is he the one who is taught by the Shruti? No. Shruti turns him into an Adhikari. By that very word, Drashtabhya, turns into an Adhikari for Shravanadi. Because he is an Adhikari, in otherwise also. Atyandika Purushartha Vanchi he was, and therefore, now he becomes Adhikari for Shravanam. Kathanchit Adhikaritvasya Pratipadanat iti bhavaha. In one way or the other, the Adhikaritvam has been actually taught here by the Shruti. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sūtra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Atha Tattu Samanvayad. 20. Arthani tarhi Atma vare drashtavyah Shrotavyah Ityadini Vidhichayani Vachanani स्वाभाविक प्रवृत्ति विषय विमुखीकरणार्थानि इति ब्रूमः। यो हि बहिर्मुखः प्रवर्तते पुरुषः इष्टं मे भूयात् अनिष्टं मा भूदिति न च तत्र आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं लभते तम् आत्यन्तिक पुरुषार्थवाञ्छिनम् स्वाभाविक कार्यकरण संघात प्रवृत्तिगोचरात् विमुखीकृत्य प्रत्यगात्मस्रोतस्तया प्रवर्तयन्ति आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः इत्यादीनि। यो हि बहिर्मुखः पुरुषः प्रवर्तते इष्टं मे भूयात् अनिष्टं मा भूत् इति न च तत्र आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं लभते। दिस पुरुष means a person आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं न लभते, is not able to attain or gain that आत्यन्तिक पुरुषार्थ. When he pursues various ends in life, when you talk of Vishaya or the sense objects, they are not merely confined to the five objects of the senses here, but anything wherein one sees happiness or security, where one sees a promise of fulfillment, all those pursuits, ishtam me bhuyat, anishtam ma bhut, that's all. When I gain this, ishtam me bhuyat, I will be happy. They will bring about my well-being. Or anishtam ma bhut, I am happy, I don't want to be devoid or, of that happiness, deprived of that happiness. न च तत्र आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं लभते. This is parikshalokan karmachidan. When a person examines, न च तत्र आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं लभते. नास्ते कृतः कृतेन. If one can recognize this, somehow if one sees this fact, either by one's own analysis or on account of being exposed to some satsang or teaching or whatever, if one sees this fact, akrutah krutena karmana naste, and so what I am seeking is akrutam, and that cannot be attained by karma. Na cha tatra atyantikam purushartham lavate, and therefore one does not attain that purushartha once and for all. Tam atyantika purushartha vanchanam, and so this is viveka, that I am an atyantika purushartha vanchahu, I am the one who is desirous of atyantika purushartha. Akrutam, uncreated, is what I want. Now this person, so it was said yesterday that this adhikaritvam sampadya sukhe utkrishtavanchaya adhikaritvam sampadya. See, that is utkrishtavancha is there, therefore this person becomes adhikari. That shows a vivek on the part of the person, that what one is seeking is nitya vastu and not anitya vastu. If that viveka, of that understanding about the life arises, this is called discerning the problem of life. So one has to discern. It is not only enough that we keep on chasing things just because our mind demands them, but one who stops to think as to what is behind all these demands of the mind. And when one discovers that what one is seeking is nitya vastu, then he becomes an adhikari. That's all. Once that viveka comes, and if it really comes, then vairagya has to come. If it doesn't come on one day, it has to come. Because when I am convinced that what I am seeking is nitya vastu, certainly anitya vastu cannot fascinate me. Even if the habitual fascination is there, I will be able to overcome the moment I stop to think, what am I doing? And that is how one becomes the antarmukha, that bahirmukha person, slowly and slowly, when he discovers bahirmukhatvam is due to wrong understanding and nothing else, then the right understanding naturally corrects this. So it's a correcting thing. Yoga is nothing but a process of correction. Extrovertedness corrected to introverted. Why corrected? Because what one is seeking through the activities out there is in fact what one already is, and therefore adhikaritvam sampadya tam shravanado vakyani pravartayanti. And this adhikari is then pravartayanti, is made to engage into shravanam, which is then the means for attainment of the atyantika purushartha. There is another viveka also required, that what I am seeking in life is nitya vastu, and that nitya vastu can be attained through knowledge and not through something else, not through some other kind of an effort. That's another understanding that also is called for. And then on shravanada pravartayanti. So not only is one a mumukshu, but one is a jignasu. And so he is made a jignasu, a seeker of knowledge. Then shravanado pravartayanti. Etena sadhana chatushtaya sampannasya shravanado pravartahi yukta. Shrutinam tasmin pravartayitritvam cha yuktam. It's proper therefore that the one who is possessed of that viveka and all the rest of the disposition of the mind and the preparation, maturity rather, that arises. So maturity in life arises as a result of discerning or understanding the problem of life. And that maturity that arises makes a person adhikari. And it's quite proper therefore that the adhikari engages in the shravanam. It's quite proper also the Shruti makes him an adhikari. Shrutinam tasmin pravartayitritvam. The Shrutis make them engage into Shravanani, that also is proper. Katham bahirmukhasya shanka nirasta. So one would ask, how come bahirmukha, an extrovert person, how can he engage in Shravanam? How does Shruti simply tell him to now start doing Shravanam? It is not that Shruti tells him to do Shravanam. Shruti first of all creates in him an adhikaritvam and then creates a value for knowledge thus, and that is how pravritti in Shravanam is. Iti shanka nirasta. Kasanchit adhikarittvasya pratipadanat, in one way or the other, kasanchit, in whatever manner adhikaritvam is indicated by the Shruti. So pratipadanat iti bhavaha. Says now Ratnabhava explaining swabhavika karyakarana sanghata pravritti gocharat tatra vishayeshu संघातस्या प्रवृत्ति तद गोचरात शब्दादेह इत्यर्थ है. शब्दादेह सो स्वाभाविक कार्यकरण संघात. कार्यकरण संघात इज दिस कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑफ द बॉडी माइंड सेंसेस. स्वाभाविक एंड दैट इज स्वाभाविक प्रवृत्ति. दैट स्वाभाविक शुड गो विथ प्रवृत्ति ऑफ दिस संघात और दिस असेंबली ऑफ द बॉडी सेंस ऑर्गन्स ऑफ द माइंड. Swabhavika natural tendency is to go towards the sense objects. So pravritti gocharat. So where there is a natural activity of this complex is shabdadehe, in the sense objects beginning of shabda, sound etc. From there, the fifth case, gocharat vimukhi kritya, turning this person away from the sense object. I guess Shruti is doing that, that as though there is now another paksha. That there are the Vishayas there, they are trying to attract this fellow. Shruti is there, he is now trying to turn his attention inward. Vimukhi kritya pratyagatma srotastaya pravartayanti. And pratyagatma srotastaya pravartayanti. Pravartayanti, these vakyas, such as atmavara drashtavya hai, that pratyagatma srotastaya. Srota hai, chitta vritti pravaha hai. At the moment his chitta vritti pravaha is going towards the objects, naturally. So these sense organs of perception become the gates through which the mind is running out, like a river. So starting from the heart, the river of the mind runs out through these organs of perception, which are like the apertures, like the gates, and nirbandha, without any restriction at all or restrainment, the mind is running towards the sense objects. Srotaha chitta vritti pravaha. The whole flow of the mind is turned towards the self. Pravartayanti jnana sadhana shravanado iti shesha. So shravanado pravartayanti. The shravanam etc. which are jnana sadhana, means of knowledge, in that the Shruti brings this person back. That's the idea. शब्दादेह शब्द स्पर्शादि विषयाद इत्यर्थ है. ओके. श्रवण स्वरूप. All right. Now that the Shruti, so Atmavare Drashtavya, you have to see the whole thing, whole scheme of the Shruti. Atmavare Drashtavya, Shrutavya, Mantavya, when this is said, as we discussed yesterday, the person then is made to see, is made to discern or made to think anyway. In fact, these Shruti statements trigger the thinking in a person. Atmavare Drashtavya, Atma should be known. Atma is Drashtum Yogya, it is worth knowing. Why? Why should I know Atma? Why is Atma? Why should Atma be known? What is it worth knowing? The person starts thinking. So thinking is triggered. And then that is how a person discovers the value that what I am seeking is in fact to be found in Atma. Having thus created adhikaritvam in this person, having created thus in him the knowledge of the value of the knowledge, and thereby also the value of Shravanam, Vichara. That Vedanta Vicharat Jayate Jnanam. Knowledge is born as a result of Vichara or a deliberation upon these statements of Vedanta. That also is to be understood. And that is how Shravanam begins. Shravanam is nothing but Atma Vichara. Vichara upon the statements of Vedanta. And that is pursued with the help of the teacher. And that is called Shravanam. Now, when he is engaged in Shravanam, what is the nature of Shravanam? So what is the teaching of the Upanishad? In what way, what is the process that takes place or what takes place during Shravanam? What's the nature of the teaching? That is what the next it is said, Tasyeti, says Bhashya on the page 171. Tasya Atmanveshanaya Pravrittasya Aheyam Anupadeyam Cha Atmatattvam vadishyate Idam sarvam Yadayam Atma Yatra tu asya Sarvam Atmaiva bhur Tat kenakam pashyed Kenakam vijaniyad Vijñātāramare kena vijaniyad Ayam Atma Brahma Ityadibhi Tasya Atma Anveshanaya Tasya Atma Jnana Anveshanam Jnanam. Now this person Atma Anveshana, investigation into the Atma, means Atma Jnanaya, for the knowledge of Atma, Tasya Atma Anveshanaya Pravrittasya, this person now who is engaged in investigating the nature of the self, meaning one who is engaged into the knowledge of the self, Aheyam Anupadeyam Cha Atma Tattvam Upadishyate. He is Upadishyate, he is taught Atma Tattvam, the nature of the self which is Aheyam Anupadayam, which cannot be discarded nor can it be acquired. That is how the pravritti comes to an end. So although the pravritti of the nature of vichara is there, but what is the purpose of accomplishment through that pravritti? To disengage him from all pravritti. Pravritti means extrovertedness. Pravritti of the slightest nature is extrovertedness. Pravritti of the slightest nature also involves duality. And therefore it involves denial of the self. We must understand that the very seeking is the denial of the self. The very search for the 10th man, however subtle it is. He may be meditating within himself on the 10th man, but then it is still the denial of the 10th man. When can you meditate upon 10th man? Only when he is different from you. And when can you do that? Only when you think that you are not the 10th man. So any activity, even the slightest activity, which involves an effort of seeing the self, is a denial of one's own self. So aheyam anupadayam, it is very important to ascertain that Atma Tattva of Brahma is aheyam. It is not subject to being given up, anupadayam, not subject to being acquired. So pravritti can accomplish one of the two things. As a result of activity, either we can give up something which is there, or we can acquire something which is not there. That's all. Heyatvam, aheyam and upadayam. So these are the kind of things that is hanam, upadanam. That's all that is done. That's the nature of pravritti. So this man is being taught Atma is aheya, anupadeya. And therefore, his very attempt to search, or attempt to know, or attempt to seek, that attempt also is resolved. This is what Shankaracharya explains in Kenopanishad. Anya devatad viditat, atho aviditat adhi. When it is said, then viditam and aviditam, both of them, viditam is heyam, aviditam is upadayam. And Atma Tattva is other than heyam and upadayam. And that is how the very jijnasa nivritta, the jijnasa itself becomes completely resolved. Both ways, because jijnasa is fulfilled, or his attempt to see or know also becomes resolved. Because what I am seeking is my own self. So, aheyam anupadayam cha atma tattvam upadishyate. Idam sarvam, what's happening? I don't think it is still functioning. Alright, he is being told, idam sarvam yadayam atma. Huh? ट्यूशन एक बार हम एक्सपर्ट से या ना बजा आटलो और कड़े जरा के जरा हम ना करे ट्विस्ट पर ना करे अमर यदिदम जगत तत्सर्वम आत्मैवेति अनात्मबाधेन आत्मा बोध्यते. यदिदम जगत, दिस जगत और क्रिएशन इज सर्वम आत्मैव. सो दिस इज उपदेश. हाउ दिस उपदेश इज अहेयम अनुपादेयम. यदिदम जगत तत्सर्वम आत्मैव. द होल क्रिएशन इज आत्मा. दिस इज द टीचिंग. Atma is not merely confined to the body. Your Atma is not a small entity. The whole universe that is in front of you is all Atma, is yourself. And Atma is not something that is to be acquired, because you already are that. So in the Jagat nothing remains to be acquired or upadayam. So Atma is the only thing that is aheya and upadaya. If Brahman or anything which I am seeking other than me, there would have been a question of acquiring it. Atma is that, the one that cannot be acquired, nor can it be given up, because it is my very self. How can I give up myself? And where is the question of acquiring myself, because I already am. And what is the person seeking? The whole Jagat you are seeking. How many things do I want? If you make a list of what all you want, it will be a whole universe. Then you will say, no, I can do without it. That's a different thing. But if you just, make a list of what all you want, it will include the whole universe, because that otherwise I cannot be satisfied. Even that also cannot satisfy me, as a matter of fact. But what all you are seeking means the whole universe is your very self. You are what you are seeking, and therefore then nothing remains to be heyam or upadayam. Tat sarvam atmaevaiti anatmavadhena atma bodhyate. Anatmavadhena, by badha or negation of anatma. Negation means by mithyatvam. When it is said Jagat is mithya, anatma is mithya. Meaning what? There is no such thing as anatma. All that there is atma. Jagat is mithya means that again jada anatma is, all there is Brahman alone. So what there is Brahman alone. There is no such thing as Jagat. Means what? Brahman alone is Jagat. So what is Jagat in front of you is nothing but Brahman alone appearing as Jagat. So this is the idea of saying Jagat is mithya. Not kuch hai nahi, That also okay. But even in the Vyavahara, when all these things are there, what is it? It's nothing but Brahman. That is what one has to see. That every name and form only reveals Brahman. Sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyatsu avinashyantam. This is how Brahman is. Sarvatah panipadantat. Sarvatokshi shiromukham. Sarvatah shrutimaloge. Sarvamavata tishtari, sarvendriya gunabhasam. Thus Brahman is described. With all hands and legs and eyes and ears, that alone is functioning, that alone is pervading everything. Functioning through all the sense organs, without the sense organs, enjoying everything without being the enjoyer. So both the immanence and the transcendence of Brahman are pointed out. So Jagat means all that immanent, whatever is there, is that Brahman alone pervades everything, and therefore that alone is. Iti anatmabhadena atma bodhyate. Anatma, by negation of anatma, meaning by by revealing the fact that anatma is mithya, anatmatvam is mithya. So atma alone is satya, meaning what? Anatmatvam, there is no such thing as separate from you. Atma bodhite. और यत्र त्वस्य सर्वम आत्मा इव अभूत तत्केनकम पश्येत्, same thing. यत्र त्वस्य सर्वम आत्मा इव अभूत. Yatra, when for this person, for this jignasu, sarvam atma iva bhut, everything has become atma. Meaning everything is atma. It's not that it has become atma, but when recognizes that everything is myself or the self. Myself means what? Atma. Tat kenakam pasyet, kenakam vijaniyat. So tat tatra vidyakale, kena karanena kam vishayam pasyet. This we saw earlier. When everything is atma, then who is the knower? And who is the known? And what is knowing? This knower, known, knowing, all the distinctions also are completely resolved. Kam vijaniyat, vijñātā amare, kena vijaniyat. So vijñāta, how can the knower be known? The idea is that the knower and the known are not separate. There is not a knower who stands apart from the known, or there is no known, let us say, which stands apart from the knower. Thus the duality is shown by these mantras to be mithya. And everything is revealed to be Atma alone. And Atma is the one that is aheya, anupadaya. And that is how Shruti just reveals the fact, or Shruti points out, or shows how in the life there is nothing to be acquired and nothing to be given up. That's all. This is what he is being taught. This is Shravanam. There is no need to acquire anything, nor is a need to give up anything. Because you alone are, or what you need alone you are. And therefore, aheyatvam, anupadayatvam, this is the Shravanam. I am Atma, Brahma, ityadibhi. This Atma alone is Brahman. Brahman is limitless. This Atma alone is limitless, ityadibhi. So this is the Shravana Swarupam. This is how the Shruti does the Upadesha to this Jignasu. Says Ratnavama in the second line, Advidiya Adrishya Atmabodhe Ko Vidihi Tapasvi Dvaitavanopajeevanaha Sthasyati Bhavaha. I don't know, in such a mood he must be. He writes a very interesting sentence here. Advidiya Adrishya Atmabodhe. Atmabodhe, in the knowledge of the self, the Advidiya, which is non-dual, Adrishya, which does not fall in the category of Drishya. Adrishya means